Hello traders, this is DAX recap video for Tuesday, February the 19th. This is the chart that was posted before the open, and basically the only zone that was updated or adjusted for today was this one here. And as said in the morning notes, main zones of interest was that yesterday low as a breakout area and yesterday high. And in order for market to make a bigger move, it should really break this range here, get outside of the yesterday day. Important was that to see if the DAX is going to hold this yesterday low or not, and if it is not holding, how it will lose it. Is it going to be a good momentum to the downside? Is it going to be another false break? And I said that even on both ends we could see a false break, because market is now basically waiting for the FOMC meeting minutes that are scheduled for tomorrow, and in some could be in some undecisive phase after these good moves. And usually after a good move, the next day will be like consolidation or ranging, and it could be more days, more than one. And something like that we got today, but with a little twist. There was some really good fast movements from the open. So this was here the pre-market range, pre-market high here made at let's say 2:50 a.m. and pre-market low that was made at 8:40, and immediately after the open, market basically opened right at the pre-market low and right at the zone of yesterday low and breakout area. So this is the breakout area. Also because market made a break above this high here, it was leaning on it on the breakout day. It was bouncing from it on Monday, and now it also is a support until it's broken. And whenever you have a situation that market is opening at support, the logical move would be for market to go up. Now of course you don't know in advance of where it will turn on the zone, because the zone is 20 point wide, but here the pre-market low was really helpful, because as you can see right on the pre-market low, again testing it and testing the edge of the zone. So this is here a long trade right at the open at 900 with your stop below the zone, and again just targeting next zone or even pre-market high. So pre-market high could be also a target, and either there, right there, or at this next zone. This is our exit, because we are ready for another ranging day, and to see what is going on, how the market is going to react on these zones. And after that, as you can see, we got a false break above the yesterday high, and the market swiftly went down. So this here was really hard to catch, because market was here a very small amount of time, basically just a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes above the yesterday high zone, and then they're going inside the zone. But basically after 3 or 4 minutes of this, you could, I'm now on the 1 minute chart just so we can see this fast sharp movements, so you could attempt here a short, but it was really not so easy to catch this trade. However, this next trade was again just touching thicker lines, means it's better zone, as said in the morning notes. Above the range of yesterday, there is a decent resistance at 370 to 390, and again market just touched it and look how swiftly that move was, how swift and fast that move was. So basically the only way to catch this move was to be here, because market just filled this gap from February the 5th and just touched the zone. So with your resting order below the zone and stop above the zone, it was the only way to catch such a swift move. And sometimes not only that is the best way to get the best possible fill is with the resting order, but sometimes it is the only way to get fill at all, because later you would need to chase the market, and if you're chasing the market and getting like here, then you must use a stop that is maybe artificially small, just above this spike, and risk that maybe market is going to test again this zone and then provide a reaction. But as said, first test of the zones are something that we should really be concentrated on, especially in the range trading. Now later market shown some weakness because it has tested this zone multiple times. So in this drop they got almost to the zone, then they tested the zone again, then again a bit below pre-market low, basically making a false break of the pre-market low, smaller bounce than this one, and then they made a classic false breakdown of the zone, and it was an important zone for us, and they immediately pulled the price back, and as you can see this spoke was just up to 15 points below the zone, just the tail of a single candle is there, and after a bit of consolidation they moved again to the upside. So this here is again a long opportunity, and now you will wait for this to happen. After all of this, this is a sign, as I was tweeting about that and warning you that it could be a move to test the lower end of the zone, maybe to make a false break or even to go lower. You don't know that in advance where you see this, but where you see this, that it is 1, 2, 3, 4 times touching and touching and touching the zone. That could mean only once. If the zone is going to hold, they will make a lower low, and they did. This is it. After that, and especially if you're not here on your long trade, after this here move and you see another test of the zone, and again they are going above after the US Open, and especially if you're watching, and you should, after the New York Stock Exchange is open, you should really watch S&P also and look at the S&P. This is 15:30, so 3:30 p.m. is Central European time, and opening of the US market, and look at this. It was very obvious. Look at this first 5-minute candle that bulls are buying this, and so should we to buy DAX. So either here or here, and now if you're catching this as it goes, you could also put your stop just below this one here, because we already had a false break, and if this zone is going to hold, then this is it. If it's not going to hold, then it will go below this. So your stop, which is here, it could be here also if it's going to be a waterfall, you know. So and this test we already have a false breakdown here. It is this, and either you are here after it went below, or here after you see this. So now you will watch for confirmation, and you will watch price action, because it is not the first test like this. This is the first test. Then we got again attempt, test, false breakdown. It is either here or here, and now you again targeting the next zone, seeing that Americans here, they are not kidding, they are pushing really hard. So that only means that if the lower end of the range is holding with so many times price is trying to go below, then it only means that it wants to test the high again. And by the end of the trading of the future session, they could go again to here. But it is enough to not to risk. That is a possibility, and you don't know what is going to happen. Is somebody is going to tweet something like, you know, US President Trump tweeted today. So just zone to zone, as I said, choose your entry points carefully. Just take into our trades or whatever market is willing to give us. That is the classic way of range trading. Nothing to press here, and just keeping our focus and attention to the zones, to the edges of the range, and exiting like again near the pre-market high, near these stops, near the zone to zone. And that was another long opportunity trade. So these longs from the yesterday low was really much easier trades to catch than these ones. Here you should really be quick for this, and for this is the best way to catch this with your resting order right there in advance. And that is it for this edition of DAX recap videos, and for tomorrow we will get another set of charts and morning notes. I wish you good trading and good night.